Tinubu's 2027 strategy: how political pressure forced Rivers suspended governor towards the APC. Who told you that he's moving towards the APC? Has he told you that he's defecting? People will just be thinking of things in your head, eh? Multiple insiders says the presidency has applied relentless pressure on suspended Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, ultimately compelling him to pledge allegiance to the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC). The maneuver, they contend, is part of President Bola Tinubu's broader plan to lock down strategies states ahead of the 2027 poll and blunt any serious opposition challenge. According to sources who spoke with Sahara reporters, Abuja's campaign against Fubara escalated over several months, using what they describe as institutional intimidation, legal salvos, and behind-the-scene arm twisting. The tipping point, they say, was a confidential meeting in London. The first in-person encounter between Tinubu and the embattled governor since the presidency announced emergency measures in Rivers and orchestrated the suspension of both Fubara and his deputy, Ngozi Odo. One source characterized the London session as a political ultimatum dressed up as reconciliation. Fubara, the insider claims, was told that his only path back to office ran through the APC, and that continued resistance would mean permanent removal and potential criminal prosecution. Under the alleged terms, his reinstatement with strings attached. Fubara would return to Government House, but key budget lines and the state internal generated revenue will fall under joint oversight by Abuja-aligned power brokers. Why? Why should he agree to that under Abuja? Joint oversight by Abuja-aligned power brokers. For what? For what? I don't understand. Fubara should not take back this. He should not go back. Because it will really stain his white. I'm telling you. He should also defect APC. The governor would publicly declare for the ruling party, giving Tinubu a symbolic and strategic win in the oil-rich Niger Delta. So, even if Fubara decides to say, okay, I want to join APC, does that mean everybody in Rivers State will now follow him and say, okay, whoever our governor votes for, that is who we are going to vote for? Why? They don't have a choice of their own. They don't have the candidate that they want. So, obviously, you want him to also rig the election in Rivers State for you, because there is no way you are going to force people to vote for you. How do you want to do that? I don't understand. He said by neutralizing Rivers as a potential opposition launching pad, the presidency hopes to minimize electoral headwinds linked to growing public anger over inflation, insecurity, and subsidy removal. Wow. Unprecedented humiliation. Veteran political observers note that federal-state showdowns are not new. Yet, the new scale of pressure described here is remarkable. Rivers has been reduced to a bargaining chip. Another source lamented, we've seen governors' defects before, but never after being suspended, stripped of security details and left in limbo until they capitulated. Historians point out a few parallels: the impeachment drama of Plateau's Joshua Dariye in 2006, for instance, but even those cases stopped short of a formal emergency proclamation. Federal overreach debates. Critics argue the episode underscores how easily constitutional safeguards can be bent by the center, reviving calls for clearer limits on presidential emergency powers. The power is too much, it is way too much. Way too much. Opposition morale. If a sitting, though suspended governor can be muzzled into cross carpet, smaller opposition figures may reassess their own staying power. APC internal dynamics. Absorbing Fubara could ignite tough battles within the party's Rivers chapter, where long-time Tinubu loyalists already eye 2027 tickets. Now, wow, a lot is really going on in this country. It is well. What to watch? Official confirmation. Neither Aso nor Fubara has publicly acknowledged. Exactly, they have not acknowledged. So we are just all speculating. Oh, he's going to do this. He's going to defect to APC. He's going to start giving them what they want or whatever. I don't know. We are just speculating. He has not said anything. Aso has not said anything. They have not publicly acknowledged any defection. statements or conspicuous silence in coming days will be revealing. Legislative follow-through. The reinstatement requires either a court order or legislative vote-face. How quickly that machinery moves will signal the depth of the deal. Budget control mechanism. Civil society group says they will track any new federal oversight committees inserted into Rivers spending pipeline. Now, if the reported pact holds, President Tinubu secures a high-stakes win in the Niger Delta. How will Fubara doing their bid automatically means that he's going to have a high-stake win in Delta State, in Niger Delta region? How? Except the people of the state too, they are gullible, because obviously we already know what is going on. If eventually Fubara goes to APC and then he's reinstated back as a governor, we already know that yes, he has agreed to their bidding. And of course, it means that APC is going to be winning in Rivers State. But INEC is also going to be helping them. I've been RSIEC for Rivers State or whatever. So we already know that Mago has entered. We already know that rigging is going to happen at the end of the day if eventually Tinubu wins in Rivers State, because of course him agreeing does not mean that the people of Rivers State agrees that Tinubu should be their president coming 2027 with all the shaking that we are seeing like this. What's the assurance that yes, if Fubara agrees to go with them to APC and do their bidding, it means that the people of Rivers State will also agree? Now, wow. The civil society group says they will track any new federal oversight committees inserted into Rivers spending pipeline. It is well. So, tightening its electoral map, but its methods, alleged emergency declarations, punitive suspensions, and coercive negotiations abroad raise fresh questions about the health of Nigeria's federal democracy and the length incumbents will go to retain power. Let us see how far we think that Fubara will go, because he obviously already said that his spirit has even already left that place. So I really hope that he doesn't compromise. I really just hope that he doesn't compromise. And all these things that he has been fighting for, that got him suspended, he should continue to fight for it and not compromise and say, okay, I'm going to do their bidding. I'm going to answer to them. I'm going to give Wiki what he wants. No, he should. I really hope that he doesn't compromise. I really just hope that he doesn't. It is well. Lawrence says the people may go for the governor in the state, but may not be the same with the federal. Exactly. Even if Fubara decides to go to APC, it does not mean that the people of the state will still support and vote for the president on his behalf. This doesn't work that way now. Well, my listeners, over to you. Leave your thought. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.